Welcome everyone to episode 34 of Popular Polls, your weekly show where I ask you a question and we discuss the answers from last week's show. Well, this week was a special week because it was Tesla earnings week. Tesla had their shareholders call, and actually just media call in general, I guess, about the Q3 results, which by the time you're watching this now, definitely we all know, and we've all known this for a couple of days now, were amazing. So last week I asked you, was Tesla profitable in Q3 2019? And to be completely honest with you, and I'm a huge Tesla fan and I want them to be successful, I wasn't entirely sure. And I didn't really mind because even if they weren't profitable, they're still doing a great job and they were gonna get there eventually. But holy moly, they freaking blew everything out of their, whatever you call it, right? They blew everyone out of their chairs, basically. The results were stunning. They made a profit, a couple $100 million, and in fact, half of you got this right. So this week, I usually don't do this, but this week I took a screenshot of the current responses and the answers to the question on, October 23rd, 10:44 p.m. German time. So that was before the Tesla earnings call happened, so our results weren't skewed, and it was exactly a 50-50 split. It was 13 people, thanks to all of you, by the way, who answered. 13 people said yes, 13 people said no. I thought it was really funny. So yeah, half of you were right, the people who said yes, and I hope that this will be the same going forward with the additional quarters coming. Q4 for Tesla, usually a strong one, and then going forward. So they, next to their amazing earnings, they were amazing. They were positive. They could be bigger, obviously, but hey, Wall Street expected a loss per share. They delivered an earnings per share, so that's really good. Anyway, they also announced a bunch of cool other new stuff, like, for example, the Model 3 production in China, Giga 3, the Gigafactory 3 in China, is ramping up already. That freaking factory is where a field of mud was in January of this year, only 10 months ago. This is really amazing. We now know that the Tesla truck, the pickup truck with the bed in the end, not the semi-truck, the pickup truck, is doomed to be called not doomed, it's Elon called it the Cybertruck, and it's still up for unveil in November, so next month. Couldn't be more excited for that one. And to top it all off, they even said Model Y is moving ahead of schedule, so they will have the cars being in production in summer 2020, so summer of next year, rather than fall. So that's really good news, especially for every one of you who already ordered a Model Y. Remember, you can already order one of those. Just a quick shout out to Clean Technica. They were live streaming the Tesla earnings call and also the Tesla solar roof unveil, which followed shortly after, 2 days after. It was on Friday night that I listened to that. They did it all on YouTube, which is super cool. So next time you want to listen, check out their channel. Really cool format. They also have the stock price there, which is ticking up live. And if questions are being asked, they will transcribe them and have pictures up who's asking them. So that's really cool. So I think it was a great week. Not really much to add here in terms of the results. I think it was cool to see that, it was a half-half split. So Tesla was able to surprise a whole lot of people with their results. And again, I couldn't be happier. So I think the Model Y, because we were just talking about this, is going to be amazing. It's one of the biggest cars for Tesla. And Elon said and reiterated on the call that he thinks it's going to be bigger than Model S, 3, and X combined. And I think he might have a shot with that because it's going to combine the best things out of most cars. I was filming a video actually this weekend, a really long one, 2 really long ones. Well, one is not edited yet, but the one is already really long. All of you who listen to my videos usually in German language, stay tuned for that. It will be probably drop on Monday at 5 p.m. I hope you will enjoy that, but I was talking to my friend Sebastian in that video, and we're going over, he's in that video, yeah. We're going over the Model S and 3, and we're talking, like the Model S has this amazing big trunk and the Model 3 doesn't, but the Model Y will have the best out of both worlds. It will be a little bit, smaller for the city, but then it will also have the bigger trunk opening, so you can fit more stuff in there. I think it's just going to be a really refined and great car to be in. Anyway, so the Model Y will bring it all together. Anyway, I talked to many people, and today I got the chance to talk to someone at a charging station. He came up in an Audi e-tron. Now, the Audi e-tron is a great car. I haven't really seen one. I've seen a couple in person, but I hadn't had the chance to check out the interior. It looks really nice. For those of you who are wondering, he has been driving it for 4 months, if I got that correctly, and he said, and I like this, he said, it's now a punishment for me if I'm driving a non-EV, or if I'm forced to drive a non-EV, because he loves his e-tron so much. So he said he had like an Audi A8, which is if you look at the car, it's a really nice car, and he was like, yeah, but it's rattling, and there's an engine in it. He loves it so much, and I was so happy to talk to someone like that. So yeah, that was really fun. But unfortunately, not all people, not unfortunately, just not all people react like that. And this person, even had some issues buying an apartment, or rather than issues, he had his choices limited or narrowed down because some apartments didn't offer charging at the apartment. So this week, I want to know from you the following. With the great cars that you can have today, a car like the Model Y being even able to order today, what is or was stopping you from buying an electric car? To answer, please click the pop-up link, which will pop up in the top right-hand corner of your video screen right now. And here are your answers. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of reasons here, and I can only put 5 in this poll. So please, if you have any other things that you might want to add to this list, just leave a comment down below. Now, option number 1 that I'll give you is price. We've been discussing this before on a really early Popular Polls episode, not in this context, but on a different context. So, is it the price? Is it just too expensive? I would argue there are really cheap EVs that are really good out there, like the Renault Zoe, the new one. You can, I think, lease it for like 200 something euros a month, which is really good, I would say. It's a good car. But yeah, maybe it's price for you. Maybe you say, hey, I want to go all electric. I'm happy to do it. I need lower prices. Number 2, the general charging infrastructure, like a long road trip you're taking. You're like, oh, I'm concerned, there's not enough charging. Maybe there isn't enough charging where you are, or there isn't enough charging for your type of car that you're considering. So you're like, no, I'm stuck with a combustion engine car for now. Number 3, home charging. I have the luxury of charging my car at home here. You've all seen this in a couple of my videos. Maybe you live in an apartment and you don't have an opportunity to charge your car, and you're like, well, a car is freedom for me, and if I can't charge it, I would love to have an EV, but if I can charge it where I live, then why should I have a car if I constantly have to worry about that car being filled up? Now, I'm going to say that I have a work colleague of mine who does live in an apartment, who doesn't have even a just general parking spot, let alone charging, but he's doing just fine. He tops it up once a week usually on a just regular charging station in the city. And yeah, because in Germany, at least in Hamburg, you're allowed to park usually just a couple of hours at a charging station if you're plugged in, like 2 or 3 hours. However, overnight they waive that rule, so you can park for as long as you want. So usually he'll leave it there overnight and then move it to a different charging spot. So yeah, but still. Number 3 was home charging. Number 4, do you have range anxiety? I hope I could help you out with my last road trip videos, and there's going to be a new one coming soon in like 2 or 3 weeks. But maybe you have range anxiety and you don't think that electric cars are just there yet. And then number 5, and I hope nobody answers this, but hey, it's free for you to answer whatever you want. You don't believe in the technology. Maybe you say, hey, electric cars are not the way to go forward in the future. Maybe it's something else. If you choose to answer that, I would love for you to follow up with a comment down below next to the like button, so we can discuss what your concerns are and what technology you do believe in. I'm definitely looking forward to those answers. I'm really curious, and I hope I can use some of those to get to people better in conversations, to help me also, because I'm a huge fan, enthusiast, and I want to know what is stopping some people from buying an electric car, and maybe what can we as a community or I as a person do in order to help people or more people get into electric cars sooner. So that's why I'm looking really forward to your answers. That's it for this week. Thanks so much. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.